Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Very welcome, folks, to the fourth lecture of virtual reality applications development. Basically, today I will discuss with you how to add animations, and before adding animations, I will discuss with you the basic structure of the code as well. For this purpose, we will go to the airframe, as we already discussed with you that airframe.io can be utilized for basic learning purpose. Here you can see the docs. From the docs, you can see that in the components section, we have animations. As I told you that there is no need of a specific IDE, we can use glitch.com for the coding purpose as well. However, today I will discuss with you about Notepad. If you want to do some sort of coding Notepad, then how we will go for this one. And then I will discuss with you about the basic structure of the A-frame coding mechanism as well. You just type here Notepad. Here you will see the Notepad, and then let's start the coding. Doc type HTML. This line tells the web browser that the document is in HTML5 document. It is important because it ensures that the browser interprets the HTML code correctly. Then the next, we will add HTML tag, and the best practice is you close it as well. And then you can start coding between these two tags. After HTML tag, you will add head, and then you will add meta charset. Basically, the purpose of this one head tag is basically contains meta information about the document, such as the character set and the title. So you will add here this information like meta is equal to double quotes basically this line is specifying the character encoding for the document, ensuring that the text is displayed correctly. Then further we will add the next thing, that is the title, and you can add title as, and the title can be anything. For example, A-frame animation example, and you close the title. That will tell you the basic purpose of the program, what thing it is doing. For example, in our case, it is doing some sort of animation. So we have given animation example, A from animation example. And then you will add JavaScript, script source is equal to double quotes, and then you will close the script. Okay, you know that it is very difficult to remember. Basically, you have to close it here. It is very difficult to remember to include your a-frame.io release. So you can just go to the a-frame, and you can, from here, you can just copy this one, https c, and then you can paste it here. So that is great. Basically, this script tag includes the A-frame library, which is necessary to create VR scenes. It loads the A-frame framework from the official content delivery network. Okay, then next we will close the tag head, and then next we will start the body, and then close the body, because I told you the best practice is that when you start a tag, try to close it. And then between the body, we will add a scene. As I already discussed with you, whenever we will do the coding regarding a frame, we will add those things or primitives between a scene tags. So this is a scene, and then close your a scene as well. And then you can add first a simple primitive, that is a box. There are many ways to add your different type of primitives. For example, if you don't want to do coding, you can just go to the A-frame website, and from here you can go to the primitive section. Here you can see that is the A box, and the complete coding is given here. For example, you can just copy and then you can paste there, and you can see that there are different attributes. For example, your ambient occlusion map, your ambient occlusion map intensity, color, depth, and then you can see the position, height, your width. So whatever the thing, these are different attributes are given. You can mention right while writing the code of a box. uh, but right now, let's do some sort of practice by writing ourselves in Notepad. So, for example, we will first write a position, that's the attribute. For example, so first when you start is this one, then you will double quotes, and then you can give your x position and your y position, and then you can give your z position. You know that this is the x axis, this is y position, y axis along, and this is z against z axis position. So your this is the position, and then after position you can give the rotation. This is another attribute of your primitive, a box primitive. So this one, so you can write here 0, for example, it's your choice whatever you like to give, or 90 or whatever the thing, and then you can give it to color, and then you can write here, for example, red, and you can give it a width. Might be you are feeling problem that from where I am writing these attributes. If you didn't remember them, you can just go to the a primitive, and then you can see here a color, a depth, and then you can see here height, and then repeat, source, width. So I'm just using these attributes here. These attributes you can just copy from them here uh, to your notepad as well. You can take help from the website as well. So we will just then we can give it a height as well. And you were looking that I am writing all of these things between double quotes, and then you can write depth, and then we will close it. The angle brackets, you know that, might be you know that we use angle brackets while starting and closing it. Okay, fine. We are not right now. We're not adding animations in it. We are just doing some sort of primitive practice. Let me share with you that how we can close it. You have seen that we have closed the body, and then we have closed the A scene as well, and we have closed the A box. When we started A box, and it is important that we close A box as well. So for this purpose, we will just close it as well. We started A box, this one, and then we are going to close it here as well. So A box, we have just closed it. A box, that's fine. So just going to save it, save, and then I have just made a directory A frame, a local disk E, and then I will save here my first animation dot html. Please remember that you have to give an extension of data html, otherwise you won't be able to open this one in your browser. And you just save it. Now go to the browser, and then you can write here a complete address. If you are not able to remember it, then you can just go to your uh, local disk E and your directory, that is A frame. This is A frame, and you just see that that's my this is my, just click on it and you go to the properties. You will see here this one address, E copy, and then you can go to the browser, and you will just paste here. You click on it. You will see the complete directory. You click on it. You will see the complete directory and animation. You just click on it, and you will see the result. You can see different attributes of your A primitive, A box A primitive. You can just see here that this is the height and this is the different depth mechanisms you have just given here in your code, for example here. And you can change, for example, you just get the blue, and just you save, and then you go to the browser, and then you just click here, then you see that has been refreshed. Okay, now it's time that we add some sort of an animation here as well. There are different ways that we can add animations here. For example, we can just go to that go to the component option. Here is the component. Here is the animation is given. You should study this page before doing animation. However, you should study this page before doing animation. However, for right now, I can just give you some sort of examples here, that here is the code given, that this is the animation mechanism. Some sort of like, do you want to do work with the position of a box, or do you want to do work with the rotation of a box? So you can just copy this one code from a box property position, and then you can copy this one, and you can from here see, and you can go here and you can add your animation here, this one, after this one thing, after your depth. Okay, now let's see. Basically, you're looking right now animation. This one is the first property with the position, that we are going to play with the position of your position at your A box primitive. This one. We are going to with the position of your position at your A box primitive. This one. We are going to manipulate. We are going to apply animation on this one aspect. on the position aspect of your A box. And then you are looking at two, it has a from option as well. How the animation will go from to 2. For the duration, you can increase the duration, you can decrease the duration, it's your choice. And then you have easing. Do you want to study about all of these things? Then the best option is, or just the best way is that you just go here and you see here different attributes. These are the properties. For example, you can see that the property here, you just see this is the property option. This one, property can be position, property can be rotation. The further you can apply on the rotation, apply on the position, it sorts your choice. Apply on the position, it sorts your choice. Here that one thing, and then further go to the next properties. You looking at from initial value at start of animation, and then you go to the two where you want to go from initial value to the target. And then here is the delay, and then delay has been given here. For example, this one, for example, this is the duration, and then direction, which direction to go from to do, and then the duration, as we have given 2000 milliseconds there, and the least value is 1000. That's the, you can see here, this is by default value is the animation will run for 1000 milliseconds. And then you can go to the loop. If how many times the animation should repeat, if the value is true, the animation will repeat infinitely. So we have just set here the animation true. We have just set here the animation true value, like this, the loop, we have set the true means it will work continuously. So, and easing has a different mechanisms. For example, you just go here down, you will see these are the easings. Easing defines the accelerations and speed throughout the cycle of the animation. For example, I will just uh, check different type of easings with you. Right now we have set linear, so let's see the result of this linear option. We have just add animation. I'll just save it here, save, and then we will go to the browser. I will refresh this one. Now you're looking at, this is the animation that we just applied. You can change the loop duration, you can change the loop direction, and then further right now we can change different easings. We will see that what are the different results. For example, I will just go to the easing, and then I will add ease in and ease out. We have different mechanisms. For example, I will just copy this one, ease in quad, this one, and I will copy here. We will just see here ease in quad. Let's type is ease in quad. Linear ease in quad, and then save, and then we will just check it, just refresh it. Ease out quint, and then save is save, and then refresh it, and then save is save, and then refresh it. Fine folks, now you have added the animation, and now so we'll check that what are the results of adding this animation. For this purpose we will just go and we will refresh. Here you are just looking that before that adding that this animation, the box was static and now it is moving, so the animation has been added. You can do many experiments with this animation as well. For example, you can check that you can give different positions. For example, instead of 0, you can just change this position in the 0, and then you can give this position to the -2, and then you just save it. File, save, and then just refresh this, and then you will see the animation direction has been changed. Now it is moving towards you. So in the same way, you can do many experiments with this code. In the other type of experiments as well, just to discuss the animation in depth, as I discussed with you, that you should study this animation page in detail. You can study animation component, let us animate and tween value, component values and component property. So you just here different properties are given. You can do work with property like your position, the rotation of your box. Here you can see that this property is right now working with position. Just copy this, control I can copy here, control V, and create another box that is the blue property. For this purpose, I rotation, and then here the properties of rotation are given here 0 to 45. Want that instead of this one it go to 90 degree to 0, create another box that is the blue property. For this purpose, I rotation, and then here the properties of rotation are given here 0 to 45. Want that instead of this one it go to 90 degree to 0. So just I will save it, and then I can refresh my browser. Here that now we have another box which is blue, and it is moving, rotating given values 0 to 90 degree. Just I want to make some sort of more experiments, then that I will change this position rotation, and then the same 90 degree, and then just save, and then refresh. So now just note rotation, and then the same 90 degree, and then just save, and then refresh. So now just know two boxes have been animated and the direction. One is the red one and one is the blue one. To study the animation option, it recommends you that you should study this page, and you can see different attributes. These are different properties given here, and the same way different easings are given here. Try them out, different experiments. You can add multiple as well. You can do the same thing with your multiple animations. You can do the same thing with entity as I with you. We can have an entity component and options in our A-frame. You can check this, you can try it out code. In the same way, you can work with animations on events as well. For example, options in our A-frame, you can check this, you can try it out code. In the same way, you can work with animations on events as well. For example, you can, when you hover, then the animations will be, when you will add the mouse on it, it will change the color accordingly. In the next class, I will discuss about adding animations using events as well. Thank you. Next, bye bye. Adding animations using events as well. Thank you. Next, bye bye.